together made the rumors even bigger. A lot of people think they're headed to New York. But yesterday, Kyrie let the media have it. Gotta hear this.
So it's a video of me and one of my best friends talking. And then it turns out to be a dissection of a free agency meeting. You get that? Like, do you get that? And then I'm asked questions about it. Like, that's what disconnects me from all that. Like, because I have no connection to that. So I don't have a private life when I'm out there in the NBA. Somebody wants to take a video and just pour water on it. I'm a human being talking to another best friend of mine. Like, it's just crazy. You know, this is the stuff that just doesn't make the league fun.
Skip, please tell me what is going on here.
Nothing good. Rob Parker, I remain the biggest Kyrie fan as a basketball player, as a clutch closer. There's not many better.
He won that championship for LeBron in Cleveland.
He did. And yet, as a leader of a new basketball team in Boston, my doubts grow by the day, by the comment that spills out of his mouth, because he's not a born leader. He's a born scorer. He's a born dribbler. He's got all that.
Finisher.
But, he's that. But especially over the last 24 hours, the more he spoke, the more I was out on Kyrie as the leader of the Boston Celtics. That's another troubled team. That's a basketball team, obviously. But I try to analyze what he says and what one of his best friends that he just referred to, Kevin Durant, says. And what do I call Kevin? He do rant, and he do rant and rant and rant. And it's almost like they become brothers in arms against the media, because they love to. What did I say the other day? I can't remember if you're on Monday. Were you on Monday?
No, not Monday.
Okay, Monday. But off the All-Star game, it looked to me like Kevin and Kyrie staged all that.
It could have been.
What happened in the tunnel, what happened after the game. And I want to point out to everybody, when the game ended, those two went up to each other and were kidding and palling around and, playfully shoving each other. And then when Durant was presented the MVP award of the All-Star game, players, after a while, as he spoke, broke up and went to their friends and family. And one guy remained right behind him. It was Kyrie clapping. And it was like staged, like he's trying to drop big hints, bombshell hints to the media, just to provoke an internet firestorm, just to sort of get even, like they're just jacking with the media.
Right.
So that could be operating here. But now let's go back to his comments. If that's not operating, he says, I'm a human being talking to another best friend of mine. Okay? And he says, it's two people talking, just having a conversation. If this was the real world, would it be anybody else's business? It's not the real world. What are you talking about? You make $20 million a year to play basketball. You have made it clear that you have not decided to stay with the Boston Celtics. What was his answer? He dismissed it.
Let me know. I'll let you know July 1st.
July 1. He said, ask me July 1.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Has Kevin Durant made it clear that he's going to stay in Golden State? Has he dismissed all the speculation by just saying, hey, stop it. I'm going to be a Warrior next year. Whether you like it or not, I'm staying here.
That would be the
Have
end
we
of the
heard that?
story.
It'd be over. So neither has shot down the story, and both seem to really enjoy the attention that it generates for both of them. So he kept saying yesterday, it's none of your business. It's everybody's business. He makes $20 million to be in the entertainment business of professional basketball. He's a free agent, and Kevin Durant's a free agent, and it would be very logical, because both have voiced in the past their love of New York City and that arena, Madison Square Garden, and Knicks history. Even though it's been since 1973 that they won a championship, it still has legacy history there. Every visiting player goes into that building wanting to light it up, right?
Skip, you know that the way that it's the setting with the lights down, and
Right.
it's like being on Broadway, on a Broadway stage.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Who wouldn't want to play there? I know they've been in the doldrums.
They got a bad owner.
They got a bad
Right.
owner, and there have been speculation that he would sell, and now it seems that's been shot down. But could I see Kevin and Kyrie, best friends that they are, uniting in New York to say, let's put the Knicks back on the map? Yes.
And what it would do to change the way people looked at both of them if they were able to do that.
So is Kyrie going off on the media just to fuel himself? Because that's how Kevin does. He wants to just attack the media. He goes and premeditates, I'm going to drop the mic on the media just so it'll fuel my fire.
Yeah.
You know, it'll motivate me. And maybe Kyrie's doing that because none of this makes sense. And for him to say it's all about you guys want likes and clicks. I think he and Kevin want a whole bunch of likes and clicks because that's what he generated yesterday with this. And for him to be up in the tunnel, I know it was before the game, doing, again, you could see him going 2, and then it looked like he was saying max. I couldn't tell, but he definitely was going 2, meaning the Knicks have 2 max free agent slots open, right?
And
okay.
Here's the other thing. This is what he signed up for. Guys kill me.
I know.
I don't understand. You just said it, Skip. He's a professional basketball player. And I hate to break it to you. A lot of people would be disappointed. But sports writers, and we've done this, Skip, for a long time, we don't have a dog in the fight.
Yep.
We're here as a conduit to the fans.
Yep.
They're the ones who want the information.
Yeah.
Yes, they care. You know what's a great story for us? A story that's early, easy, and can get us out. A good story that gets us out of the ballpark early. That's a good story for sports writers.
Yeah.
So this whole notion that it's an obsession of ours, the same way that Kyrie did a movie. Didn't he do a movie? Did he want nobody to come? Or how does that work?
That doesn't
Uncle
work
Drew,
that way,
right?
yeah.
No. So when you want to sell sneakers or whatever, then you go and you put out stuff because you want people to be interested.
Yeah.
We're in the same business. You know what we do? We want people to tune in to watch us because we're talking about the things that they're interested in.
Yep.
Or read our website or our newspaper or listen to our radio shows. Yes, we're here for the fans. It's about the fans. I don't get this whole pushback to the media. And like, they're all new. They're brand new to it. Like, they don't get it. What part don't you get? There's a story out there. We don't know where you're going, and until you make it clear to us, and here's the other part. I've said it all the time. If you don't want the media to speak for you, then you should answer the question. And just like you said, all he has to say is, if you're Kevin Durant, I'm not going anywhere. I'm re-signing with the Warriors.
Over.
What other question could I come up and ask you? You just told me I have to take you at face value until you sign somewhere else. Kyrie did a good job at it in Boston at the start of the season. If you remember, in front of the big crowd, he goes, my plans are to be here as long as you'll have me.
Yep.
He didn't give you a definite...
That was in front of the fan fest.
It was
that was
fan fest.
Right.
That was a smart way for
It was a way to call off the dogs, right? He did it. But then when people came back after the whole thing with AD and Porzingis being traded and this whole idea that the Knicks have $75 million to spend, they go back. That's a natural question.
It is.
Go back to him, and then he goes, I don't owe anybody bleep, and hit me up July 1st. So what are we to do from now until July 1st but to speculate?
And he says this is nobody's business. It's everybody's business because he should be grateful that millions of people care about whether Kyrie and Kevin are best friends who might go to New York and play for the Knicks.
Kyrie, go work at the post office, and when you and somebody else are talking over a sweet roll, nobody will care. Nobody will ask you, what were you talking about? It's like this is all new.
So here's my final problem with what Kyrie said in the last 24 hours, because this was to Rachel Nichols on ESPN. And I'm going to read this quote very quickly. He said, it's been a trying year for us. I'm talking about the Celtics. We basically have a bunch of young men in our locker room who feel like they're capable of doing a lot more than they're doing. Translation, playing more minutes, scoring more points because they shoot more shots. And he says, that's okay, but there's a maturing that you have to do. He's telling them all, because he says, I initially didn't play the minutes I wanted to play. I was only 26 years old heading into my prime, but why did I have to wait for anybody? And he's saying these kids have to wait for him. So why did he apologize? I said this the first day, and he reiterated that he called LeBron to apologize.
Right.
He was trying to send a message to his younger teammates in the locker room. You actually need to be apologizing to me because you need to take a back seat to me for now because I'm the guy I'm the LeBron right now, and you guys need to just swallow it for now and grow up and realize that you're going to play less minutes and score fewer points until I'm gone. You see what I mean?
No,
Okay?
absolutely.
Well,
and
again,
you're not going to win ultimately without me.
Okay.
Like
so
the big thing.
He's doing it again. He's taking another shot at those teammates. And when he says it's been a trying year, well, in large part, that's self-inflicted wound in the locker room because Kyrie was the one who started all this. He's taken shots at various teammates. Jaylen Brown fired back at him. So he's the instigator of the trying year. And again, he's rubbing their nose in it again, and he's pouring more gasoline on that fire. This team's going to have a hard time in the last 25 games.
It's almost like
what's
he
your
needs
gut?
to be reminded, though.
He's not staying in Boston, right? Is that your gut?
Well, it feels like he's not because he's not having fun in Boston. He says, you guys, the media, you're making this no fun in this league. Well, I think he's making it no fun in his own locker room.
You've been around so many of those athletes. I mean, how much does it bother you when you hear that kind of reaction? Because
I just don't get it because we've been around and covered so many guys who just get it. It's a part of the job when you sign up. You know, you're a pro athlete. People are interested in you. And this is what we do. You don't have to agree. I always remember Paul O'Neill asking me before he went to New York.
You're going to have to remind people who Paul
O'Neill
was.
played for the Yankees and played for the Reds. But he asked me about going to New York.
Sure.
And he just said, you work there, give me advice. And I just said, speak for yourself. I said, when you don't, the sports writers will have to guess what you're saying. That's it. It's so simple.
simple that they are relevant when being talked about. This is a good